أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب إله العالمين بالقاسم مصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. Hello everyone and welcome to another class of Tadabbur and the Qur'an. Today we're gonna have chapter 82. We are at the 20th week of second level. Chapter 2 or Surah Al-Infitar. We're gonna have the whole chapter today. We had chapter Takvir last week, and it wasn't online class. I couldn't have it online, and I did the recording. I hope that you watched it. If you listen to that one, we can talk about the question that you have at the end of this class. One of the microphone is on. Would you please mute your microphone? I can hear it. Thank you. So at the end of this class, if you have any question, we can talk about Surah Al-Takwir also. So about Surah Al-Infitar, if you have any study about it and if you want to talk about it, please say something. How many paragraphs does it have? What do you think about the content of this chapter?
Translation, and I wasn't sure whether it's three paragraphs or whether it's one with the middle bit in parentheses. The surah is mainly about obviously the day of judgment, the day of Qiyamah, and how Allah gives us advice or gives human beings advice about what they should do in our lives. So, and it sort of explains, the last bit explains about what happens to the people on the day of judgment. So that's my thoughts. Like I said, but ayahs 1 to 5, and then
Uh-huh.
ayahs 6 to 12, and then ayahs 13 to 19. So that you could divide that into three, or if you say it's one paragraph, then the ayah 6 to 12 obviously is slightly different to what's before and after. So I wasn't sure, to be honest.
Okay, cool. No, you did it really great. You did it really great. Any other idea? Yes. As our sister mentioned, the main content of this chapter is about the Day of Judgment, and God is warning us about that, about the Day of Judgment when we see all of our deeds. And it's mainly about this. And yes, it has three paragraphs, and you did it really good. The first paragraph is verses 1 to 5. The second paragraph is verses 6 to 12, and the third paragraph includes verses 13 to 19. At the first paragraph, which there are five verses, it's mainly a conditional clause that God mentioned some conditions, and then there is a answer about that conditions. There is the second part of the conditional clause in the fifth verse. And this all of it together is describing the end of the world when this world will change and be ready for the day of judgment, and a human will see whatever that they did. This is the first paragraph. The second paragraph, which is verses 6 to 12, it's about the human who is distracted from his Lord because he doesn't believe in the day of judgment, and he is easily distracted from his Lord, and he is busy with his worldly life. And then the last paragraph, which started from verse 13, it's again describing the situation of two groups on the other life. So we will start our study on these paragraphs, and in each paragraph, I will explain the translation of each verse, and then we make conclusion for each paragraph, and then at the end, the conclusion for the whole chapter, like we always do for all chapters. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إذا السماء انفطرت, when the sky breaks apart. إذا is a condition, which means a when, and it's talking about a condition that is going to happen in future. So, like we had it in Surah Al-Takwir. إذا, when all of these things happen, then something, which is very common in our conversation also. We say, when the rain stop, we'll go shopping. So when is condition, we'll go shopping is the second part of our conditional clause. It's like the answer or like the result. So as a sama fatarat, when the sky breaks apart, there will be a day in future that the sky breaks apart. There are different description about the situation of the sky at the end of the world. Are they different? No, they are not different. They are actually different steps of it. Like in some verse, God mentioned as a sama shaqqat. And shaqqat means being split open. And fatara means being it's break apart, or like the other one is like when it is rolled like scrolls. These are actually different steps of converting sky to something else. On that day, at the end of the world, sky is not like this anymore. It will start with a crack, and then it breaks apart, and then it split open, and then it is rolled like a scroll. So these are actually different steps of what will happen to a sky. A sky now, when we look at it, it's like air, and then after that there is even like there's even no more air, and it's like just space. And what does it mean that it breaks? It seems that breaks in our mind is more related to something which is solid, or like something that is breakable. But how about a sky? How can something like this happen? Well, the point is, this sky, which we look at it and we think that it's unlimited, it's actually limited by itself. And as it's limited, it has a structure. This structure, we don't know what it is. It might be some forces that hold all of it together. Whatever that it is, it's gonna be broken, and it's not like this anymore. It wouldn't be like this anymore as something which has like different layers, like the atmosphere and all of these things. And like there are stars in different say a galaxy, and like all of this universe, as we call it, as the space. And when we look at it through the sky, it wouldn't be like this anymore, and it falls apart, it breaks apart. وإذا الكواكب انتثرت, and when the planets scatter. Kawakib sometimes is translated into stars, which is not that accurate actually. Stars is a type of najm. Najm in Quran is equal with all of the lighting astronomical object, maybe stars, fixed stars, or maybe falling star. All of it together is known as Najm in Quran. And Kawakib is more like the planet which are usually going around one star at the center. For example, this Earth is a planet, and it goes around sun as a star at the center. And this planet, Earth, and the other planets, they all have a structure, and their move is kind of organized, and everything is organized for these planets. They go with a specific speed and this stuff, but on that day, they will scatter. They're not organized anymore. They are not like in a specific situation anymore. And their position is not organized anymore, and they will be scattered. وإذا البحار فجرت, and when the seas are exploded. It's like a tsunami, like when there is a huge earthquake, and the sea or the river are exploded, it'll be like this. And as I talked about it in the Surah Al-Takwir, when the earth is flattened, it seems that those waters which are in the seas or in the rivers, they will come up and they will be exploded. وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. And when the graves are overturned. The grave can be any kind of a grave. It means the place that contains a dead body, and that dead body might be even completely destroyed. But those will be overturned upside down, and whatever that is in it will emerge, and it means those dead body will resurrect. Those bodies will be recreated and resurrect. So these are four conditions. When the sky breaks apart, and when the plants scatter, and when the seas are exploded, and when the graves are overturned, then we are waiting for something. So when all of these things happen, what? علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت. A soul will then know what it has put forth and left behind. Very similar to Surah Al-Takwir. In Surah Al-Takwir, after all of those conditions, God mentioned that you will see whatever that you did, and whatever that you did in your life, you will see it there. Directly, you will see your deeds. And here, it's mentioning all of our deeds in two separate part. قدمت وأخرت, has put forth and left behind. What is قدمت? قدمت is whatever that we did and we sent forth. Like when I am doing something now, it will be like a package, and we will send it to the other life. And then when we go there, we will see the nature of that deed. But there are also some other deeds that when we do that, they have some more effect after doing it. It's not like when we did it, then there is an end of it, which I believe most of our actions and most of our deeds are like this. They are continuous, and they have effect, and they have side effects. And when you do something, when you say something, if it's a good one or if it's a bad one, it still has effect in this world, and it has effect on the other lives and on people and this stuff. These are what we left behind. And sometimes even when the person is dead, there is still some effect of his deeds. For example, if someone did helped in a charity and build a hospital, or write a good book, after when he or she died, still that book, still that hospital, they have a good effect on the other life and on the other people, and it's still a good deed, and it's something that he left behind, and there will be still good things recording on his scripture, on his book. And also, whatever, if someone did something wrong, if someone writes a bad book to mislead people or whatever, and if someone did a sin, and if someone caused a problem for someone's life, like when people do evil stuff and they talk between couples, husband and wife, and they cause problems between them. These are really bad things that even when the person die, then there will be still bad deeds in his record. These are what we left behind. And these are actually something that we should be very careful about it. That good part is of course good. It's we've been told frequently through the narrations from the Prophet and Imams, that if someone raised a kid in a good way, if that child be a good person, it's always a good deed for that father or mother. Even if you plant a tree And as long as that tree is on the earth and it's beneficial for people, it'll be a good deed for you. So these are all what we left behind. If they are good, of course, we'll be happy on the other life and we will continuously receive actually a good reward from that thing. But if it's a bad thing, it's very dangerous. As long as this earth is here, as long as this world is going, there will be bad deeds are recorded on our actually on our documents. So on that day, when all of these conditions happen, then every soul will then know what he has put forth and left behind. Actually, based on these verses, now we can obviously say that God wanted to emphasize on a very important fact. What is that fact? That you cannot be free from your actions, whatever that you are doing. If you did it and it's completed, you will see it on the other life. If you did something that continuously has effect, you will see the same fact and you will see the effect and side effect of it. So God sent down these verses to warn people, to tell them that you will know and you will see whatever that you did in your life on the other side. And the main point of this paragraph is here. Human's knowledge of what he has brought on Judgment Day. This world will be torn apart. Judgment Day will rise, and human will know what he has brought. This was the first paragraph. Do you have any question, any ideas on this first paragraph? Nothing. Okay. Second paragraph. It started with يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم. O humankind, what has distracted you from your Lord, the generous? So this verse is actually a question, but it's not a question. It's just that the structure is a question. It's actually blaming human because human is distracted from his Lord. So obviously, this verse is not directly related to the verses that we had before. This one is about this life and it's talking about the human and this life and about an important topic that human is distracted from Lord. The verses that we had before, it was about the uh, end of the world and it described some conditions at the end of the world to tell us that you will see your deeds on the other side. But this one is on this world and it's talking to the human now and it's telling us that human is distracted from Lord. Why? And what caused this? What did you see that you are distracted from your Lord? About غرك, which I translated into distracted. يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك. What has distracted you? Some translation mentioned something else, which I didn't like it. غرك is actually I believe the best translation for it is being distracted. Something which is less important or something which is less valuable, it's distracting you from something which is more valuable and which is more important. And you are busy with this one, which is less important. And this is the story of all human, and this is a sickness among all of us. It doesn't matter if we are believer or if we are disbeliever. And this is a sickness for all human, but it has different level. We can say probably believers who are more connected to God and they are trying to actually practice their religion. their religious deeds, they will less distracted from God. But being distracted is something very internal. It's inside our heart. When we are busy with our life, when we care about just collecting money, I don't know, finding a job, going to a college, and like marriage and raising kids, all of these things, if it's not in the path of God, if we are not doing it for God, if we are not looking for God's satisfaction, it's all of it is being distracted from God. It's all of it is kind of a being busy with a worldly life. And yeah, simply say this is being gharra. Gharra means being actually distracted from something very important and being busy with something which is less important. So this verse, which is apparently a question, it's not a real question, it's not waiting for us to answer. It's actually blaming us. It's telling us that you are distracted. And it's very painful that even when we are doing pray, and even when we are doing that, we believe it's a religious deed, we are still distracted. We are not connected with our heart to the main concept that we have to serve our life in the path of God. And we do care about this worldly life, about our daily activities too much. And it's actually being distracted from God. So now it's a question. What caused you to do that? What caused you to be distracted? What was more important than me? It's a question that God is asking us. He's saying that what was more important than me? Your kid, your husband, your wife, your house, your job? Which one was more important than me? You are saying that I was distracted because of my family. Why? Because are they kind to you? I am more kind. Whatever that you are saying that I was distracted and I got busy with something because of this benefit, I have much more benefit than you think, than that thing that you got busy with it. So then God is describing this rap at this sentence with in verse 7 and 8 to kind of blame us more and more. And it's actually more blaming us when he is describing himself because it's telling us who is this rab that you are distracted from it. You are distracted from a rab who الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك, who created you, proportioned you, and balanced you. في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك, he assembled you in whatever form he willed. So these two verses together, which are describing Rab, which are describing our Lord, and it's describing what he did for us, it's kind of blaming us more and more. And it's kind of um, mm, yeah, it's actually telling us that you are distracted from such a high Lord. الذي خلقك فسواك, who created you. خلق is or creating is when God created us from nothing. It's like the first step of it, creating the human. Proportioned you. I don't mean Adam as the first human. I mean creating us in terms of our physical body. And it's actually the first step of our creation. And then he proportioned us. He proportioned us, he made us like a human with hands, feet, and with head, eyes, ears, and tongue, and all of these things is proportioning us. فعدلك, and balanced you with the world, with the external world. He balanced you. So proportioned you, it's kind of internal proportioning and making everything for human, his organs and this stuff, and balancing is making it balance with the world. For example, there is air for us to breathe, there is oxygen, and like there is water when we are thirsty, there is food when we are hungry. This is like balancing. If I want to bring an example. If someone wants to build a door, that person, when he wants to make that door, he has to actually cut the wood at the first step and make the general form of a door. Then, when the general format of a door is ready, this is creating. Like that wood is converted to the door. This is creating, similar to the creating, but it's not really creating, it's just making it. Creating means there isn't anything and everything, even all of those tiny particles and molecules, those are all created by God. What we do is not creating, we're just converting material to each other. Okay, and this is just an example to make these three parts separate. What is creation and proportioning and balancing. So anyway, this example, the person created the door, made the door, and then he has to like color the door and do some finishing on the surface of this door, some coating and installing the handle and this stuff. This is proportioning it. And when he is trying to fix it on the frame, on the door frame, to make it balance and actually using those pins to fix it, to work well, to be open and closed easily, this is balancing. So these are three steps that God did for us to create us, creating our physical body at the first step, proportioning us, made all of our organs to work well, and then balancing us with our outside world, and prepare everything for us like food, air, water, and everything, and balancing our body with our outside world. Such a Lord that he did everything for you, and now you are distracted from him. For what? And you are attracted with someone that you think is more important than your Lord. What that thing or that person did for you. If you think about this verse, الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك, who created you, proportioned you, and balanced you, you will see that your Lord did everything for you. And there is no one else who is actually desired to be to pay attention to it and being distracted from your Lord because of that person or because of that thing. And then he is telling us at the verse 8 that I created you in a specific form. I didn't create all of human, like all of them, like in the factory and like the company when they want to, like the mass products that they produce all of those things in the same shape, in the same format, like 100,000 of them in one day, all of them exactly in the same format. God is telling us that I didn't created you like that. You are not like a mass product. I create all of you with all of those tiny details uh, and which are specific for you. Each of us are specific. Each of us, we are a specific creature that God actually created us individually with all of those tiny features which belong to us, which belong to each of us particularly. So he said he assembled you in whatever form he willed. He willed that. He wanted to create me like this with all of those features. And it's actually showing us a high level of love. He is loving us, He loves us, and He created us. And all of us, each of us, we are a particular creature for Him. Now, what is the reason that we are distracted from Lord? Kalla bal tukadzibuna biddin. This kalla, which means definitely not, it's rejecting something which was before that. Definitely not. It means that is impossible that you can be attracted by something else which is more important or more valuable than God. That is impossible. When you are distracted from your Lord, that's impossible that you are attracted by something more important. Kalla, definitely not. That is impossible. There is nothing which is more important than me. There is nothing which is nicer than me. There is nothing which is kinder than me. There is nothing that is more generous than me. That is impossible. You cannot find anything that is more important than me that you pay attention to that one and you are attracted by that one and you are distracted from me. Definitely not. بل تكذبون بالدين. But the reason that you are distracted from your Lord is this important fact. You deny the judgment day. That is the reason. The reason that you are distracted from your Lord is because you keep forgetting the judgment day. And unfortunately, this is inside all of us. We may remember that several times a day. We may think about it, but it's just several times a day. If we are really good, we do it several times a day. But some people may do it several times a month. Some people may several times a year. Some people may don't even think about the dead. Thinking about the dead and thinking about the judgment day, that the dead by itself is something undeniable. We all believe that we will die. But the point is, some people do not believe that they will have another life after death and they will be judged on that life. And some people do believe, but they keep forgetting it. They keep forgetting it. They do not deny. We do not deny the judgment day. We do believe that there is a judgment day and we'll be judged about whatever that we did in this life. But the point is, we keep forgetting it. We keep forgetting it. We are busy in our life. And because of that, when we forget the judgment day, or some people, when they deny the judgment day, they'll be distracted from Lord easily. The other things will be more important for them. وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. You deny the judgment day while there are angelic guards over you, indeed. So, one point about verse 9, I forgot to say kalla bal at the beginning of this verse, which I translated into definitely not, but it's for finding the root of something, the reason of something, or the root. Like there is a sickness. What is that sickness? People are distracted from Lord. What is the root of it? What is the reason of that sickness? They deny the judgment day. Kallabal is actually a term that whenever you saw this one, you have to know that kallabal is bringing the reason or the root for whatever that it was before that. What is the reason of that sickness that it was before that? People deny the judgment day, or if they do not deny it, they keep forgetting it. So they deny the judgment day, but there are some guardians over us and they write everything. إِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. You can deny the judgment day, but you cannot change the reality. There is something actually the judgment day is true, and it's certain, and you cannot change it. And there are angelic guards already over you. There are some angels or one angel that they write down everything. Based on some verses of Quran, we may say there is one actually main angel who has control over other angels, and the other angels are writing down all of our deeds. Some verses of Quran said there are two of them, Sahiq wa Shahid. Sahiq wa Shahid. Yes. And and there are also in some narrations that they are at your left and at your right, and they keep recording everything that you are doing in your life. So anyway, maybe one angel as the chief leader and as a leader, and the other angels under his control. We don't know exactly. Whatever that we are sure about it is this, that they are witness over us. They can see whatever that we do, and they keep recording it. And it doesn't matter if we deny the judgment day or if we forget it. They will not forget, and they write everything. And if someone denied the judgment day, they cannot change this important actually fact. Who are these angels? Kiram and Katibin, honorable recorders or scribes. They record everything, they write down everything, they are witness over us. And the method that they do writing, it's not probably the same way that we do writing. It should be different because they record the main deed. The way that we record or write something, it's like our understanding of something, and we do write it. But the way that they record it, they record the reality of our deeds. They actually record all of our deeds. They are honorable, kiraman katibin, يعلمون ما تفعلون. They know whatever you do, so there is no way to hide something from them. They can see everything, they know everything, and whatever that you are doing, they can see it and they can write it down. I remembered something. I'm not sure if it was a quote or if it's a verse in Quran. I cannot remember, but it says that sometimes God wants to actually help a believer, someone who is really believer, and if he did a tiny sin, then may God cover it, and those angels cannot see it. But it's like for some rare situation. It's not for always, and it's for those people who are really good. And if they made a tiny mistake, then may God wants to forgive that person and hide it from these um, angels. So it was the second paragraph. In the second paragraph, we saw a sickness which is mentioned in the verse 6, and this sickness is still among people. It's still among our societies. People are easily distracted from God, and they are attracted by other things in their worldly life, and they do not care about God's commands and God's orders. And God described Himself as a kind of those steps to heal this sickness. One of it is describing Himself to tell us that who is this Lord, and to tell us that there is nothing more important than me. Then He told us that the root of this sickness is denying the judgment day, and you have to know that there are angelic guards over you, and they write down everything. They are witness over all of your deeds. So in this verse, we saw the sickness, and we saw those steps that God took to heal this illness among us. And so the main reason that God sent down these verses was because of this sickness. And the main goal of this verse is preventing human from being distracted from Lord. You deny judgment day, so you are attracted to the world and forget your God. Beware that all your thoughts, interests, and acts will be kept, and judgment day is real. Do you have any question in this paragraph?
Sister, just could you clarify for me, because this paragraph talks about being distracted from your Lord, and then it says that the main reason for the distraction is to deny the day of judgment. But also you mentioned about if you spend more time do things for your family, do you think they're more important? I mean, sometimes we have no option. We If we have young children, we do have to look after them, we do have
Of
to
course.
so how, I'm a bit confused really about what is it that is causing us to be distracted.
Okay, nice question. Thank you. Well, actually, helping your family and spending your time for a job, for your study at college, and raising kids, none of it means you are distracted from God. If you are doing all of these things because your Lord asked you to do, then you are not distracted from your Lord. For example, your Lord told you in the Surah Al-Zalzal that فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى. If you do a tiny good deeds, you will see it on the other life. So now, early morning, you can see that your family need food, they need breakfast, and you are preparing food for them because your Lord wants you to support your family. Your Lord wants you to raise your kids in the path of God. Your Lord wants you to be kind with your husband, with your kids, and this stuff. If you are doing it in the path of God and because He was asking you, then of course you're not distracted. Even you are doing even you're doing a good deeds, and this is all recorded as a good deed for you. When you are just busy with them and you are thinking of them in something separate from God, this is a case that when you are distracted from your Lord. Is it obvious now?
Yes, thank you. Would you have an example of when we would be say doing something for the family, but we are doing it not for God, but for some different reason? Do you have an example?
Yes. For example, I'm going to college only to have a degree and find a job just to save money for myself and just to spend my life in a more comfortable situation. And I only care about money to have more salary, to have a better job. Okay, this is a case that when I am distracted from God, I don't care about the other life. I don't care about Judgment Day. I don't care about how, I don't care about the Islamic method of saving money and all of those things. Okay, I only care about money and I only care about finding a job and saving money. Okay, this is one case. And on the other case, I'm going to college because I want to learn something to help my society, to help my people, to serve in the path of God, and of course, to find a job, to have a good salary, to help myself, and also to help a charity, and all of these things. So, apparently, from the outside, when you look at these two people, both of them apparently are doing the same. Both of them are going to college. Both of them are looking for a job. Both of them trying to have a better salary and a better job and serving better to people. Okay. But they're doing it for different reason. One of them is completely distracted from God and only care about the worldly life. The other one is doing all of these things for God's satisfaction. Okay.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you very much, sister.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question. Yes. About ayah 9, the word deen. Does it mean judgment? Because there's no Yawm ad-Din. Could it be Okay, good religion? Question. Good question. Actually, I forgot to mention this one. Thank you. Yes, as I mentioned before, deen by itself mean religion, and some of the translation even translate deen in the verse 9 as religion, which is not correct here. As I mentioned before, Din is religion when it's alone and there is no yom before it, or there is no clue on the other verses. But based on the next verses, we and specifically next paragraph, we are certainly sure that this din here is judgment day. Specifically, next verses in the third paragraph, which say وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ ثُمَّ مَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. So it's definitely talking about judgment and the effect of believing in the judgment day, which cause us to act better in our life and to do not be distracted from God. Okay?
Yes, thank you. That was very
Yeah.
clear. Thank you.
One example I wanted to bring here is actually related to Imam Hussein's movement. That when we say that Ya ayyuhal insan ma gharraka bi rabbikal karim, that we can be distracted from our Lord. As some of these examples that I brought, that those two people who went to college and they were looking to find a job. So Imam Hussein did a movement. He stood up and he fight against some people. They attacked him and they killed him. There is another person also who is standing up, having a war, and being killed only because he wanted to have a kind of a like actually to beat that king and having the control over that kingdom. Are they equal? Of course not. When we look at it from the outside, both of them did the same. Imam Hussein stood up and he went for a fight and he fight with that king. And this side again, there is another person doing exactly the same. Are they equal? Of course not, because Imam Hussein stood up for the justice in the path of God, exactly based on what God asked him to do. He did all of those things to help people, to bring them in the path of God, to invite them to the true Islam, because Islam were so all of the Islamic actually rules were so different on those days. So he did all of these things in the path of God, and it wasn't for himself. It wasn't for his benefits. He didn't do all of those things for just to have a control over the Islamic countries. It wasn't at all. It was all of it sacrificing in the path of God. But this one who is fighting to have the to beat the king and having the control over a country, it's all for his own benefits and for the power and for this stuff. So the appearance of many deeds might be exactly the same, but when we are doing all of it in the path of God, these are not being distracted from God. We are doing it based on what He asked us to do, and only we are seeking His satisfaction. So I hope that is clear now. So let's go to the third paragraph. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم. This one is the beginning of a new paragraph because it's talking about the other life. It's talking about two different group and the other life. The first group, إن الأبرار لفي نعيم. Indeed, the righteous will be in bliss. وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ. And indeed, the wicked will be in hellfire. So two different group. God is not talking about the first group that much in this paragraph because they're not making the trouble. They are not sick. They are good, and they're not distracted from their Lord. They were trying to do everything in the path of God, and they believe in the judgment day. So God just briefly mentioned them and told us that they will be happy, they will be in the heaven, and they will be in bliss. But about the next group, وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ, they will be in hellfire. Why? Because they were sick. They didn't try to heal their illness. They were distracted from their Lord. They only care about their worldly life. They didn't believe in the judgment day. And they are in trouble now. They are in hellfire. And then rest of this paragraph is about the second group. What is Jahim? The first important thing is Jahim. What is Jahim? Which I translated into hellfire. يَصْلَوْنَهَا يَوْمَ الدِّينِ. It is something that they will enter to burn on Judgment Day. يَصْلَوْنَهَا is like when you want to make barbecue, like there is a fire and you put that meat inside of it, bringing it up, inside of it, bringing it up. And when you are putting it inside of that fire, when it's burning, and when you are rotating it, this stuff, this is like yaslaunaha. This is entering to burn. They will enter to burn on judgment day. وَمَا هُمْ عَنْهَا بِغَائِبِينَ, and they will not be absent or away from it. It means there is no way to escape. There is no way to go away from that one. They cannot be absent from it. They will be in it. So what is Jahim? Jahim is something that they will enter to burn on Judgment Day, and they cannot go away from it. They will not be absent from it. And what is Yawm ad-Din? Because it's mentioned Yawm ad-Din in verse 15. Now in verse 17, it's talking about that one. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ, and what can make you know what Judgment Day is? Judgment Day is very huge. You cannot imagine it. You don't know what it is. I have to tell you. ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين. Then what can make you know what Judgment Day is? It's emphasizing. By repeating the same question, it's emphasizing on something very important that you cannot understand. You cannot know anything about it. It's huge. It's a lot. You don't know anything about it. I have to tell you. What is that day? Then God is not telling us anymore about it. Just in one verse. يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ نَفْسٌ لَنَفْسٍ شَيْئًا وَالْأَمْرُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلَّهِ. It is the day when no soul will be of any help to another, and all command on that day will be with God. La tamliko means some kind of a possessing a burden from someone else. Like if someone did a sin, you cannot help it. And if you did a sin, no one can help you and carry your burden. Like your sister, your brother, your parents, they cannot carry your sin and they cannot carry your burden. Your sin, whatever that you did, it's like a burden on that day, and no one can help it. No one can carry it for you. So on that day, يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ نَفْسٌ لَنَفْسٍ شَيْئًا, and it is the day when no soul will be of any help to another. There is no help, and all command on that day will be with God. So this was the third paragraph to kind of more emphasize on the Yawm ad-Din, the judgment day, which God briefly told us about it in the second paragraph. And God told us that the reason of that sickness is denying or forgetting Yawm ad-Din, denying the judgment day. And then in this paragraph, God described judgment day for us to kind of warn us, to tell us that it's very important. You'll be divided on that day into two groups, and the second group who are in hellfire, they will have a very difficult situation. So all of these three paragraphs together were actually warning us about Judgment Day. The first one with a different approach by describing it through those conditional clause. And then the second paragraph by telling us that if you deny or forget Judgment Day, you will be distracted from your Lord. And the third paragraph is actually by itself describing Yawmuddin and how difficult that day is. The main goal of the third paragraph is warning evildoers about certain punishment on Judgment Day. On that day, nothing can help, and all command on that day will be with God. Um, as a conclusion for the whole chapter, I think I wanted to mention something in this part. I think I forgot it. Oh, yes, in the verse 19, I wanted to tell you this important point. Usually religious people, any kind of a religion, like, divine religion, Jews, Christians, Muslims, Sunni Muslim, Shia Muslim, we all do believe in the day of judgment. Then what is the reason that we can be distracted from God? Because in the second paragraph, God mentioned that you'll be distracted if you deny the judgment day. We do not deny the judgment day. Then what is the reason that we can be easily distracted from God? One reason is because we forget it. We do not think about the dead frequently, and we do not judge ourselves internally. It's a good practice to do it. We have to think about whatever that we did during the day. At the end of the day, when we want to go to sleep, before going to sleep, think about whatever that we did. This is one reason. The other reason is actually in this important concept, which is in verse 19. It says that يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا. It is the day when no soul will be of any help. Sometimes, not sometimes, many times, usually internally, we think that we're going to have a help on the other side, specifically religious people. For example, we think that Imam Hussein is going to help us on the other side, which is famous as Shafa'ah. Imam Ali is going to help us. Lady Fatima is going to help us on the other side because we cried for them in this world, and because we were their followers and this stuff. Shafa'a is correct. Shafa'a means being coupled with someone. Shafa'a is from shafa'a, which means two things, which means when two things are coupled together. Okay, Shafa'a is correct. But when they can help us, if we really follow them, if we really follow them, not just wearing a black and like do mourning and crying for them and being sad and during the mourning, or like in Muharram and this stuff, these are good. We have to do it. But when they can help us, if we really follow them, if we really care about them, but only by this actually uh, things like crying or like this stuff, no shafa'ah cannot help us on that day. Unfortunately, because many religious people, they feel like they are gonna have a specific help from the prophets and imams on the other side, they are happy with it, and they can be easily distracted from God, and they can be easily distracted from their own responsibility, and they don't care that much about their deeds, they don't care that much about their action, and they are happy that we're gonna have a specific help on the other side, which is not correct. We can some help from our imams, from our prophets, all of them, they will help us if we really follow them in this life. As I mentioned many times, that everything that we'll see on the other side is exactly the nature of our deeds in this side. Whatever that we are doing, we will see it on the other side. If we are following them in this life, if we are coupled with them, if shafa'a, as I mentioned, is from being coupled. If you are coupled with them, if you are really following them, then of course on the other left they will come and they will help you. Okay, so this was what I wanted to mention about verse 19. So as a conclusion for this whole chapter, at the first paragraph, we saw some conditions, and God warned us about the end of the world, that when these conditions happen, humans will know whatever that he did in his life. And then in the second paragraph, we saw a sickness among all human, and God told us that you are distracted from your Lord, and if you want to actually prevent and heal this sickness, you have to believe in the day of judgment. And then in the third paragraph, we saw some warnings. to evildoers about the day of judgment. All of these paragraphs together, as you see, this is all about the day of judgment, but in different way. In the first paragraph, God described the end of the world. In the second paragraph, told us about a sickness, that the root of that sickness is forgetting the day of judgment. And in the third paragraph, God described that situation and that punishment. All of it together can be used as to make the conclusion for this chapter. All three paragraphs together, preventing human from being distracted from his Lord and disobeying him due to denying judgment day. O human, what attracted your attention and made you forget your Lord? So that you disobeyed him. All this results from disbelief in judgment. All of these things will result you to be all of these things are actually the result of disbelief from judgment, and beware that you will be kept with all your deeds. Judgment day is certain, and bad doers will end in hellfire. So I'm going to stop the recording. We can listen to the recitation, and then if you have any question, we will talk about it.